You guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here with one of my most unpopular opinions. Now, to be fair, I'm sure a lot of y'all will agree with this, but it's also going to make others a little salty. But I'm in the mood for today, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys. So recently I've been covering the Not So Resilient Jenkins more often than I had been the month previous, just because there's been many concerning pieces of content posted featuring them and what's been going on with their child. And it kind of had me thinking about, I've got these unpopular opinions that just kind of like sit in the back of my memory. And once in a while, I'm reminded of, yeah, like I really feel that way and I stand 10 toes on it. So, the unpopular, what might be popular opinion that I have for tonight that I want to discuss with y'all is if you are in poverty, you are being negligent by bringing in new children to this situation, this scenario. And I am, first of all, don't twist it. I am not talking about people that were in a decent financial position and fell on hard times or lost their job. I'm not talking about those unpredictable situations that can happen once you already have kids, because that's valid and nothing in this life is guaranteed. I totally understand that. But if you are actively, if you are currently in poverty and you have a hard time paying your bills, paying the mortgage or rent, paying a car note, maybe you don't even have a car because you're not able to afford it. If all of those things are laid out in front of you and you still come to the table and say, I'm going to go ahead and continue to have children or have my first child, even though this is my current position. And while I fully understand that there are organizations out there that will help feed children and help, families in need, whether it's a nonprofit or the government or whatever, I know that those organizations exist, but I don't think it's fair for somebody who literally cannot pay for a roof over their head to have a child and then expect these organizations to help them in times of need. Children being brought into a poverty household where things are literally the worst of the worst, and the parents still decided to have the child anyway, that's going to have a lifelong impact on them. It's going to have not only long term, but short term hurdles that this child has to try to unpack and understand. And I simply think that's unfair because you knew that you were not in a position to give this child any kind of decent life and you decided to do it anyway because your position when you decided to have the child is now the same as when the child is growing up. I really want to make it clear in this video because I do not want to mince words or have my words minced. I am not talking about people who were in a kind of lower middle or middle class household. They decided to start a family and then things just went completely off the rails for them. Let's go back to what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Steph and Drew were in a position where they were not able to properly care for the children that they already had. And they had two more and knew that it was only going to get worse because the expectation was social media, I'm going to go viral, everyone's going to come together and gift us a house and a car and furniture and buy out Amazon wish lists. That is not a sane expectation to have. You should never expect people on social media to come across this and think anything but y'all were not in the position to have more children. You had more children anyway, and that is diabolical. Don't want this video to be super repetitive, so I am going to wrap it up here, but I want to know, how do y'all feel? Do you completely disagree? Do you kind of agree? I will be checking the comments because I think this is a very interesting conversation to have, especially considering many of y'all probably know all about the Jenkins and what they have done online and continue to share and overshare and then get mad when people have an opposing opinion. We are very familiar with the circus over here, but I think I've had enough for tonight. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.